Everyone talks about how great the United States of America is, a country of hope and a country of opportunity, a country seen as safe and free compared to others, a country where people are happy, a country others come to looking for one thing, the American dream. For most Americans, the American dream means outsiders. Immigrants come into their country to take advantage of all the jobs, education, commodities, you name it. Immigrants are just people who are in their country to take everything that is supposed to be a birth given right. The biggest debate going on in the country currently is whether or not we should build the wall between Mexico and the U.S. The United States government wants to have control over all immigration. It's all over the news and social media. I see it every day. Everyone who doesn't consider themselves racist agree, arguing that people should be allowed as long as they follow the correct process. And those people who are openly racist simply say they don't want immigrants in the country. As a Latina woman, and more specifically a Mexican woman, I see all the racial judgments and opinions everyone has on immigration. The part that truly saddens me, though, is how little people know about immigrants. All I hear and see is they're taking our jobs, they're occupying our space in schools, they're taking advantage of our health care, they're taking advantage of government benefits, and the list goes on and on. The only thing anyone ever talks about is the bad things about immigrants. What no one talks about is the 7-year-old girl in Mexico who had never met her father because he was working in the U.S. to provide for his family. About the countless times she was bullied for not having a dad. No one tells you about the days she spent crying, not understanding why her daddy couldn't come home. No one tells you about the time she was told that her school, her friends, her family, and all she knew and loved would be left behind in Mexico as she moved to a new country, a country where she didn't know the language, the people, or the culture. No one tells you about the time she and her 9-year-old brother were given to complete strangers by their mom in hopes that those strangers would take them to the land of opportunity to meet with their dad. No one tells you about the number of days she spent with her brother alone in the dark with nothing to eat or drink because mom wasn't there to take care of him. The days she spent crying trying to understand why their mom had given her away to those mean people who only yelled at them to shut up. No one tells you that when she and her brother were finally brought to their dad, their lives wouldn't get any better. At school, she didn't understand what kids would say to her. What she did know is that they laughed and pointed and hurt her. Instead of learning and having fun like the rest, she always had to be on the lookout, making sure nobody would hurt her anymore. She was tired of hurting. She was sad, alone, and trapped. But nobody tells you that she went through all of that. No one tells you how strong she had to be, and although her parents could never help with homework or anything that involved school, she worked hard, always to be the best. No one tells you that she was strong and overcame all the obstacles thrown at her, and she was successful. She learned English, graduated high school, and is currently going to college, working hard for everything she has, because since the day she was born she's had to struggle, but the struggle gave her the strength to be the woman that she is today. No one tells you that. No one tells you that part, or at least nobody talks about it. But I am, because looking back at that 7-year-old girl and who I am today, I know I earn and deserve everything that I have. And although many Americans may disagree, nothing has been handed to me. Everything I have, I've worked for. Everything I am, I've struggled for. I am lucky enough to have a story to share where I can tell people that coming to the United States is not just a choice one makes from one day to the next. And even coming is not a simple journey. It's leaving loved ones behind. It's struggling, spending time with strangers. Moving to the United States is one of the hardest things I have ever done in my entire life. But I am so grateful for the opportunities that this country has granted me.